By the time most people notice something is missing in their lives, years have already passed. Not suddenly, gradually, one distracted morning at a time. The man didn't notice it at first either. What he noticed was simpler. His thoughts felt clearer, his reactions felt slower, his decisions felt more deliberate, and that scared him. Because clarity changes things. When you finally see your life clearly, you can no longer pretend you don't know what needs to change. Most people avoid that moment. They stay busy so they don't have to be honest. But the man had already crossed the line. Once you taste control, chaos becomes unacceptable. He began to notice how reactive most days were for everyone around him. Phones lighting up first thing in the morning. Urgency before intention, noise before thought. People weren't living their days, they were surviving them. The man realized something quietly profound. Most people don't lack talent, they lack space. Space to think, space to feel, space to decide who they actually want to be. And without space, discipline feels impossible. Because discipline is not about force, it's about clarity. You don't need discipline to do what you deeply understand. You need discipline when you are confused. The early mornings had removed confusion. They had given him space. And in that space, he started asking better questions. Not how do I get more done, but what actually matters. Not how do I stay busy, but what deserves my energy. Those questions were uncomfortable because they demanded change. He began to see how much effort he wasted reacting to things that didn't move his life forward. Emails that felt urgent but weren't important. Conversations that drained but didn't build. Commitments that existed out of habit, not purpose. The mornings didn't just give him time. They gave him perspective. And perspective is dangerous. Because once you see clearly, you can't unsee. He started saying no more often. Not aggressively, not dramatically, calmly, and every no gave strength to a better yes. This is something no one talks about. Discipline is not about adding more to your life. It's about removing what doesn't belong. The man didn't become more intense. He became more selective. Selective with his energy. Selective with his attention. Selective with his goals. And that selectivity created momentum. Most people believe motivation creates action, but action creates motivation. The man didn't wake up inspired, he woke up committed. And commitment is quieter than motivation. Motivation shouts, commitment whispers. Motivation is emotional, commitment is structural. This is why motivation fades, but systems endure. The man had built a system, and the system worked even when he didn't feel like it. Especially then, there were mornings when he questioned everything. When progress felt slow, when results felt distant. But the routine remained, because routines don't argue. They simply wait for you to show up. This is where discipline reveals its real power. It removes negotiation. And when negotiation ends, progress accelerates. The man stopped debating with himself. He stopped asking how he felt. Feelings became secondary. Identity became primary. He wasn't someone trying to improve. He was someone who showed up. And identity drives behavior far more than motivation ever will. Slowly, this identity spread beyond the morning. He trained his body with consistency, sharpened his mind with depth, approached his work with intention. He became harder to distract, not because distractions disappeared, but because his standards rose. Most people don't need more information, they need higher standards. Standards for how they spend their mornings. Standards for how they use their attention. Standards for what they tolerate in their lives. The man raised his standards quietly, and life responded, not immediately, but inevitably. People trusted him more, because clarity creates confidence. Confidence creates trust, and trust creates opportunity. None of this felt sudden from the inside. But from the outside, it looked like momentum. This is how transformation actually happens. Not in public moments, but in private consistency. Day after day, morning after morning, the man realized something else along the way. Discipline doesn't limit freedom, it creates it. Without discipline, every day is decided for you. With discipline, you decide. And decision is freedom. The irony is this. Most people avoid discipline because they fear losing freedom. But in avoiding discipline, they lose control. And without control, freedom is an illusion. The man had traded comfort for clarity. And clarity changed everything. He slept better, worked deeper, spoke less, but with more weight. He didn't feel rushed anymore. Because when you lead your mornings, urgency loses its power. The world still moved fast, but he no longer had to. And that calm became his advantage. This is where the story pauses again. Because the next step is the hardest one. It's the step where discipline must survive success, where routine must survive comfort, where identity must survive temptation. In the next video, we'll explore that moment, the moment where most people fall back, and the small decisions that separate those who transform temporarily from those who change permanently. If you think this story is about waking up early, you're still only seeing the surface. What comes next goes deeper, and it might challenge how you see your entire life.